Well, this is going to explain why I have white on my hand in this video. In early 1991, a new cabinet arrived in arcades that would change video game history forever. And that game was TUMBLR. Nah, I'm kidding, it was Street Fighter II, a 2D fighting game from Capcom. It featured 8 playable characters, each with their own unique silhouettes and special moves. In 1992, this game was ported to the Super Nintendo and went on to become one of Capcom's best-selling games ever. That same year, another fighting game hit arcades, Mortal Kombat! It was a similar template, but this one used stop-motion capture technology to create realistic-looking fighters. Mortal Kombat, of course, was also known for its ultra-violence, which you didn't see often in mainstream arcade games at the time. Mortal Kombat was next to be ported to home consoles like SNES and Sega Genesis, and the controversy around its violence only seemed to help bolster sales and boost the popularity of 2D fighting games in general. In fact, for the next few years, 2D fighting games were all the rage, both in arcades and on home systems. Some games leaned into the shock more than others. Meanwhile, other developers tried new and exciting ideas. Stop animation techniques were used to give us games like Clay Fighter and Primal Rage. Here's a game called Balls, which graphically was pretty impressive for 1994. Look everyone, I'm playing with my balls. Then of course, intellectual property started making it into fighting games. I really loved Tournament Fighters with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's easy to forget how fresh and exciting it was to see a game like this in 1993. Mobile Suit Gundam spawned numerous fighting games, many of them extremely well made. Even the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers got into the action. And Ultraman. This is all to say that 2D fighting games were the bee's knees for a significant period of video game history. So making a 2D fighting game with Toho monsters is pretty much a no-brainer. You already have great character designs, you have special moves ready to go, and in 1993, we got that fighting game. Godzilla Battle Legends for the Super Nintendo. Wait, hold on, I read that wrong. Godzilla Battle Legends for the Turbo Duo. Wait, Turbo Duo?
With 4 times the memory of 1 megabit CDs, the Turbo Duo takes gaming power to the next level of excitement.
In 1991, the same year that Street Fighter II came out, North America received the Turbo Duo, developed by NEC Home Electronics and Hudson Soft. The Turbo Duo is basically a combination of 2 systems, the TurboGrafx 16 and its CD-ROM drive, TurboGrafx CD. In 1993, Alpha System teamed up with Toho to create Godzilla Battle Legends, which was published in the United States by Hudson Soft as just Godzilla. So while this game did make it to America, you might be hard-pressed to find someone who actually owned it in 1993. I didn't even know it existed until I heard about this strange new thing called the internet. It's decent animation for the time, and since this is a CD-based game, the audio sounds really good. To talk about Battle Legends is almost to talk about 2 entirely different game experiences. Playing this game solo and playing couch co-op with a friend. Let's start with the one-player experience. And here's the buzzkill right out of the gate. You can only be Godzilla! That seems like a really odd choice for the developers to make. Now, to their credit, your appearance as Godzilla changes with different fights to recreate the look of some classic films. That is a nice touch, but I would have rather just had the option to be other monsters. I mean, who wouldn't? The sprites look very nice. In my opinion, the kaiju look great. There's a nice mix of backgrounds, and I really like how some levels have things going on behind you. For instance, this Godzilla vs. Gigan level really feels like a nice tribute to the film, with King Ghidorah and Anguirus fighting in the background. At a glance, everything looks pretty straightforward. You've got your life bar, got an energy bar. Too bad this game is fucking brutal! This is not a pick-up-and-play game. The AI components do not pull punches. They're here to kick the shit out of you. Fuck, even on easy, this game is super challenging. To add insult to injury, Anguirus has given me a hickey, and now I can only wear turtlenecks around my parents. Well-made fighting games usually start off a little easier in story mode to give you time to familiarize yourself with the controls. Not this game. If you don't go in there already knowing the controls, you might get stuck on the very first fight. And it often feels like the artificial intelligence has some kind of advantage over you, like it wasn't balanced correctly. Why do so many old Godzilla games have this particular issue? Look at this fight with Mechagodzilla. He's got a wide variety of long-range attacks. The only way to really win is to just spam this charge attack, and then quickly back away. Hedorah was defeated the same way, just a lot of spamming the charge and then backing up to go on defense. With some of these guys, it felt like the hit detection was a little off, especially during close-range attacks. Look at how close I have to get the Biollante to actually hurt it. Oh shit, she got me! Yeah, alright, whatever, let's just take a walk to outer space now. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain to get your character to even face the right direction. I jump over King Ghidorah here, and now I've got my back to him. Beating a level in this game is only satisfying in a fucking finally kind of way. It doesn't feel like you earned it, just that you happen to finally hit the right set of circumstances to beat the AI. So now I've made it to stage 6, and it's asking me to select the target. It's either the Super X2 or... well, that's my only choice right now. And just like every other game it appears in, the Super X2 is a pain in my balls. You gotta hop around like an asshole and hope you hit this tiny target. Seriously, it's like trying to swat a fly that keeps buzzing away every time you think you've got the drop on him. So let's talk about how to unlock these monsters here. Well, as you play story mode, you score points based on how quickly you defeat the opponent, how much of your health remains, etc. At level 6, your amount of points determine what final bosses are unlocked. So for example, if you've earned 450,000 points during the game, you can fight Mechagodzilla 2. The other options are Biollante Final Form, Mecha King Ghidorah, Batra, and Super Mechagodzilla. And to all that I have to say, good fucking luck! To see Mecha King Ghidorah, you pretty much have to play through the whole game without dying once. To see the other bosses, you need to have a couple of flawless victories under your belt on top of that. Yeah, you can't take a single hit for like 2 or 3 matches. That task sounds so out of my reach that I'm not even motivated to try. It sounds fucking daunting. I'll pass, thanks. Thankfully, the game has a much more fun 2-player mode. In 2-player, you can be any available character. Yeah, now we're talking. You could also unlock characters or backgrounds, and there are all sorts of customization options for your match. When you're playing against a real human being, obviously the matches feel more even. You have time to discover the moves on your own without pressure. It is so much more enjoyable. Is it perfect? No. The characters still feel clunky, not quite as smooth as some better fighting games. But these are big clunky monsters, so I can give it a pass on that. And when you pull off a move on your friend like Buzzsawing Mechagodzilla, it's a lot more satisfying. Or when you pull off a King Ghidorah gravity beam attack. Fuck yeah. I think G fans would be happy enough with the 2-player mode, and even casual Godzilla fans with some familiarity with these characters will like it too. But aside from the characters, there's not much in the gameplay that really elevates this fighter over other ones. There's not a whole lot of razzle-dazzle. Just a really good-looking but unbalanced early 1990s 2D fighter. If you don't know these characters, so there's no novelty for you, you'll probably enjoy other fighting games more. 2.5 stars! The joy of the 2-player mode balanced with the aggravation of the 1-player mode put this game's score right in the middle for me. Oh, one more thing. There is a cheat code out there that unlocks the monsters in story mode, but I really can't be bothered to do that. I'd rather just enjoy the game's 2-player mode whenever I can and leave it at that. Uh-oh! That means this episode's not gonna get an appearance by Cheeto, the cheating dragon. Fuck you, man! You motherfucker.